The grand finale of the 1984-5 season, the Heineken Championship. 48 teams in various divisions of ice hockey in Britain have played this season, from Bournemouth in the south to Aviemore in the north. The Premier Division clubs played off for the privilege to be here at Wembley. And it's the two old rivals from the south and north side of the Forth, Fife Flyers and Murrayfield Racers, who will meet in this final. Murrayfield Racers from Edinburgh. Watch out for Murray Hansen in goal, the top goalie in these playoffs with an 86.7% average. And number 21, bottom right there, Chris Kellen, a captain from Western Canada. Gordon McDougall, who you've seen, an American who scored 1 goal and 5 assists yesterday. But watch out, of course, for Tony Hand on the left there and his brother Paul Hand. Tony, 17 years of age, the top British-born player, the second scorer in the league, a superb stick handler, and Paul Hand, his 19-year-old brother, plays on defence, and on occasion the two of them combine very well. This is Tony just taking it round a defenceman, putting a beautiful pass through to his brother, who knocks it away on the backhand. And Fife Flyers, Andy Donald in the net, under-20 international. But watch out for Ron Plum, number 3, a 34-year-old player coach from North America, and a Kirkcaldy-born player, number 14, Andy Linton, right wing. He plays on the right wing with number 9, Danny Brown. Brown is a very good player indeed, third highest scorer in Britain. He comes in Toronto. This is the sort of player he is. He skates very well, skates very fast, takes it through, beats the man, and can always put it away. And he's at centre ice with this man, Dave Stoyanovich, 25-year-old Canadian from London, Ontario, the top scorer in Britain with 160 goals and 101 assists for 261 points. He's always in the right place. He's got a tremendous shot, but this is one of his easier ones. This is his 160th goal, and it's simple for Stoyanovich. So the team's now ready for the face-off. The semi-final results there, Murrayfield won 13-4 and Fife Flyers won 12-3. So we've got Alex McWilliam, the referee, about to set this game in motion, the final. And on the left, Murrayfield Racers. On the right, attacking that goal to the left, it's Fife Flyers. Fife in blue and Fife in possession. Into that Murrayfield end right away. Great crowd here at Wembley. It's super to see them back in this stadium. Tony Hand in there from the word go, and what a chance that was. Chris Kelland on the net. Murrayfield with the pressure on, and Ron Plum it is who turns it away. That will probably be an icing. It is. Ron Plum relieved the pressure by shooting the puck from one end of the rink to the other. You can't do that if both teams are at equal strength. You get a face-off back in your own end. Ron Plum, the player coach for Fife Flyers, a very, very good player. The oldest man on the ice, 34 years of age. Great experience. Fife Flyers, of course, have been runner-up in both the Autumn Cup and the Heineken League, so they're looking to go on top. Good pass. Andy Linton. Oh, hit the post. What a let-off that was. Great break by Fife, and bad luck for Linton off the post. In again. Icing. The defender got there first, and so it's going to be a face-off back alongside the Fife Flyers net. Here's Andy Linton, and it hits the right-hand post there. That was close indeed. But that's the way Fife Flyers are. They've got some good scorers. They come out very fast. They can turn defense into attack in a matter of 5 or 6 seconds. So, face-off just to the left of the Fife Flyers net. Gordon McDougall in the corner there. Jim Pennycook, number 7 for Fife, and that's Gordon McDougall, the American. Had a great game in the semi-finals, setting up 5 goals and scoring 1 himself. Remember, in ice hockey, the players get points for an assist if they set up a goal as well as if they score it. Chick Cottrell coming out for Fife Flyers. Around the boards, and the pass out. Turn back in again. Offside. The face-off just outside the Murrayfield Racers zone. And here's the Murrayfield coach, Alex Dampier. This is probably his last match with Murrayfield. He's going to join Nottingham next season. Flipped in by Stuart Drummond. And now it's Fife who have it in the Murrayfield end. Paul Heavey, good pass. Hay. And Duncan McIntyre going really fast. Number 10 there for Murrayfield. Taken out on the boards. Puck is still loose. But didn't quite get there, so it's going to be an icing. Got to play it before the defenseman. Well, this is really up and down stuff. There's no doubt about that. And we've got great supporters, both from Murrayfield and from Fife, and also a great number of supporters from Durham, the team that won the league, but missed out on this final. So it's Danny Brown now, and Jim Lynch, who's also a Canadian, facing off. 3 imported players on each team. Good stop. Murray Hansen. 86.7. He had 1,547 shots in the league. And a shot on goal is one that would go in if he didn't stop it. Back to the point again. It's loose, it's loose, it's very loose, it's there! Stojanovic, the scorer! No! No, no! The referee looks as though he's called it back. It's possible there was someone in the crease. Let's have a look. There's the shot. Comes in. Now the puck comes loose. It's still there. Yes, there's a player in the crease. You see, you cannot score when there's a player in the crease. So that is taken back. The score is still 0-0, and that was perfectly illustrated. A lot of people have said, what is that crease there for? Well, that's one of the reasons. That's the crease, and the attacking player cannot be in that crease when a goal is scored. Paul Heavey. Oh, good forechecking. Plenty of time for Fife Flyers. Here's Neil Abel. Danny Brown. He's got Stojanovic trailing in. Danny Brown going in close. It's there! This time it is Danny Brown, the scorer. No doubt about it this time. Danny Brown, number 19. Comes in, brings it around from the right wing position. Notice he's a left-hand shot. Backhand off the skate of Murray Hansen. Brings it round the defenseman, Chris Kelland. And off Murray Hansen's skate. Danny Brown now has set Fife Flyers on the way, 1-0. Back come Murrayfield. Here's Tony Hand. Being eased off by Gordon Leto. Out they come again. This is Gordon Leto. Good shot, punched away by Murray Hansen. Into the corner. It's a dead puck. And a face-off just alongside that Murrayfield net. Well, it's up and down. Those are the Fife Flyers supporters. Remember that famous G block up at Kirkcaldy? They're all here, plus their honorary supporters. I'm happy to say I've been made an honorary supporter of G block. So we've got the face-off, and it's Danny Brown again. Stojanovic this side of the circle. Back to Stojanovic. Across to the point. Ron Plum. Oh, neatly knocked away by Hansen. He couldn't have much of a sight of it. And again by Neil Abel. Zanovic in there. Away by Paul Hand. And there's Tony. Now Paul. Paul Hand. The defenseman making a rush. Picked up by Lindsay Lovell. But now dispossessed. And here's Danny Brown. He was really going, but he was taken out of the play. But there is a penalty. High sticking penalty prior to that break. And the man who's going to take it. Neil Abel is going to take a 2-minute penalty for high sticking. Now, Murrayfield have the power play situation. They have the one-man advantage, and they have been extraordinarily good when they've had a power play. In fact, they're the best in the league as far as scoring goals, then they have the man advantage. Here's Tony Hand. Shot away by Danny Brown. Oh, it's picked up by Stanovic. He's in again. Stanovic missed it. Just slid off his stick. A chance for Murrayfield to get away, but they're slow on the recovery. Jim Lynch taking his time. Chris Kelland coming through. Kelland in there. Poked away by Andy Donald, and the net, in fact, has come off its moorings. Once the net comes off its moorings, the whistle blows immediately. Obviously, you could not have a solid net there because the players move so fast. If they hit that net, then it would be a very serious injury. So it gives if a player hits it. So Murrayfield in the power play, the man advantage, Danny Brown facing off with Gordon McDougall. Back to the point, off the target, the point again, and once again Fife's Ron Plum gets it down the ring, takes off the pressure. Paul Pentland, Tony Hand, that's offside, and a very hard body check there by Ron Plum, and a very pensive Alex Dampier, thinking, well, we've still got 1 minute and 9 seconds of this penalty. Are we going to make it pay? The face-off is in Murrayfield's end. Jack Hay, number 12, and shot back in, picked up by Chris Kelland. Kelland now. The pass. Gordon McDougall. Slap shot, deflected. Into the corner, Jack Hay with it. Puck is still loose. Gordon McDougall has it. Now Tony Hand has it. Back to the point, but it's off. Way off. Kelland had no chance to get that one. Just about 35 seconds on the penalty, and thus far, Murrayfield not getting on top. Jim Lynch, Tony Hand. Tony across. There's Gordon McDougall back to the point, and it bounced over Chris Kelland's stick. That's Stanovic with him. Pentland. 15 seconds on the penalty. This is Kelland. Didn't get it through. Stanovic. Oh, here's a chance. And Ron Plum just easing the pressure. It's all over. Abel is back on the ice. And so Andy Linton took it down there. Back come Murrayfield. Lynch kept it low, and that net is off its moorings again. In fact, it does look a fraction too loose because the goalie just fell against the net then, and it came off its moorings. And here's Andy Donald kicking it away. So far, it's 4 shots for Fife, and that one you saw there for Murrayfield. That's the shots on goal so far in this first period. 14 minutes and 34 seconds to play. And the face-off, if the linesman or the referee sees the two players are not lining up properly, he'll get two more players in to take the face-off. Deep pass. Jim Pennycook taking it down into the corner. Eased out by Paul Heavey and by Gordon McDougall. It'll be a face-off. Once the referee cannot see the puck, or the puck is frozen against the boards, then it's a whistle. But, in fact, in that little melee, Gordon McDougall has got himself a penalty. He's in the box, and he was holding against the boards, so he'll spend 2 minutes in there for holding. Now, Fife Flyers have the power play situation. Let's see how they come off. In yesterday's match, Fife Flyers had 5 power play situations, had 5 goals. Well, they're spreading out, and that's what they've got to do. Wasn't far off. Gordon Leto keeping it there. Break. Tony Hand slipped. Wasn't tripped. Gordon Leto going back with it. Gordon Leto shot. Stopped by Hansen. Andy Linton going through there, or trying to go through there. He's trying to get it out in front. Must come back to the point, almost certainly. Not going to, though. There. Stojanovic. That's the shot. It's off the target this time, but the rebound comes out. It's Danny Brown again. Goal number 2 for Danny Brown. Well, it was the shot from Stojanovic, which was kicked away. Here's Stojanovic. This tremendous shot, very fast, went around the back, and there was Brown to flip it back into the net. 2-0 for Fife Flyers. So Stojanovic has equalled the Heineken Championship playoff record for points. 27 points, equalled by Durham's Jamie Crapper. Murrayfield in possession. Tony Hand. Plum. And goes Andy Linton again. He's all about this fella. Big lad. Come from Kirkcaldy. The pass. Lindsay Lovell. Down the back. And the puck is still loose. Tony Hand has it. Beautiful stick handling. Still has it. Jim Lynch. Lindsay Lovell. Blocked by one of the defensemen. The puck is still bouncing in that Fife Flyers end. Danny Brown, good pass. Couldn't quite be accepted by Pennycook. It bounced over his stick. Neat turn by Chris Kelland. Kelland then. Here's Neil Abel. Gets it out. Kelland way across the rink looking for Lindsay Lovell. Well, the puck is going the way of Fife Flyers, no doubt about that. Plum. Murray Hansen. It was straight at him, but he smothered it because he doesn't want to see any rebounds come out. Here's Ron Plum with the shot. Didn't have to move, but he wanted to smother it. Murray Hansen, 3rd in the goalies' averages in the league. So Jim Pennycook, number 7 for Fife Flyers, facing off with Gordon McDougall. Dougal there. Now Chris Kelland. There's a penalty. Well, it's Gordon McDougall again. That's his second penalty. McDougall, number 7 there. And he tripped the player who went down behind that defenseman. So, once again, Fife Flyers have the power play situation. Didn't make it pay last time with the one goal, but we'll see now if they will add to that. Rebound picked up by Kelland. Good pass, but Tony Hand couldn't accept it. Mind you, Murrayfield are going to play defensively. A former square when they get into their own end. Because Fife come out very fast. A lot of decoy players. Gordon Latto. With the Jim Petticoat. Finds him. Petticoat out in front. Latto. Ron Plum keeping it in. Back in the corner. Kellan shooting it out. No whistle here. And it's Neil Abel. 6'1" and Scottish-born defenseman. Tough character. Here's Ron Plum. Stojanovic. Look at the way that boy is moving. Stojanovic. Picked up by Tony Hand. And there Neil Abel across to Ron Plum. Stojanovic and Heavey were getting a bit mixed up on the boards there. Here's Ron Plum again. Here's Plum. Good shot. And the rebound there. But Chris Kelland stopping Plum getting through for it. Puck is still loose. Getting a bit hard. It's getting very hard in the corners. Broken up very quickly. Well, Andy Linton. Taken out in the against the boards there, but there's no whistle, there's no penalty apart from the frozen puck. 29 seconds, 28 seconds now on the penalty. Back to the point, Plum, goal! Ron Plum, the scorer. (3-0) for Fife Flyers. Plum's shot went through a crowd of players there. There's the pass back. Now there's a lot of players between Plum and Hansen. It was there. 3-0. Well, that's 2 power play goals now by Fife Flyers as they take this 3-0 lead. And there's 10 minutes and 5 seconds on the first period. Again, Henson, it's gone through, it's loose, it's still loose. And now it's trapped against the back of the net. Well, there are about three rebounds there from Hansen. And the defenseman was very quick to get it and take it around behind the net and trap it. There's Latto, bounced away. And the puck's loose, comes back again. And again it comes away, but now they're back in action here, and it's Fife Flyers really keeping that pressure on Murrayfield. Out in front, oh, Gordon Latto with a chance. The pass from Foster. Here's Kelland. Kelland with a quick turn. We hear a slight booing. Chris Kelland is one of the players that the supporters just love to boo. Bouncing. McDougall. McDougall in front. Oh, what a chance. Jack Hay had the chance so far of the match as far as Murrayfield's concerned. He was open in front of the net. Jack Hay. That's Jack Hay. He was wide open in front of the net. Here's McDougall, and look at Hay in front of that net. Just flipped it wide. Well, Murrayfield now having a face-off in the Fife end. It hasn't happened too often so far in this period, and there's 9 minutes and 12 seconds to go of this period. Timing is very precise. Every time the play stops, the clock stops. Neil Abel. Flipped through, picked up by Andy Linton. Stojanovic, picked up by Danny Brown now. That's Kelland, trying to pip it away, doesn't get it away. Kelland, picked up by Duncan McIntyre. He's got McDougall with him, there's McDougall. Plum taking out McDougall. Fife are very quick in covering. Stojanovic, that's the shot. Good stop by Hansen, but still in that end. No, it's not. That was over the line, and so it'll be a face-off at the other end of the ring. So, 6 players on the ice at a time, remember. Goal-minded, 2 defensemen, 3 forwards. And Alex Dampier there with his team trailing by 3-0, getting the face-off and getting his men set for some action, with Jim Lynch on the left and Danny Brown on the right. Kelland, quick flick. Oh, that was a chance. Here's another chance. And it's gone through. The puck is still loose. Well, again, the net causes the play to be stopped. The puck bouncing around in front. Andy Donald has it covered. Goes across, and then when he touches the net, you see, the net came away. Andy Linton is anxious on the far side of the rink to get going. He was ahead of the puck. You have to stay your own side of the puck when the face-off is taken. That's Linton. Danny Brown, Brown with a slap shot. Ooh, what a shot. One of the few occasions that Stojanovic didn't get his shot away first time. Here's Tony Hand. Looked very much as though he's being held as he went past, and I think there will be a penalty for holding. Yes, Brian Peat is certainly going to spend 2 minutes in the box for holding there, because Hand was almost past him. Tony Hand here was almost past him. Watch him. Makes a little fake, and then gets past, and then is held, but positively, by Brian Peat. Peat will spend 2 minutes in the sin bin. Well, now, Murrayfield. They've had a power play. They didn't score on it. Now here's their second power play. That won't go over the line and hit the referee. Oh, that by Stuart Drummond. Hand. Paul Pentland trying to keep it in. Not successful. Going to be picked up by Kelland. To Jim Lynch. Back to Kelland again. 2 Canadians. Lynch number 3, Kelland 21 carrying it. That's a good pass. He's got Gordon McDougall with him. That's McDougall. Jim Lynch back to McDougall again. Pentland. That shot deflected. Still not out though. Still not out. Murrayfield keeping it in. Oh. Gordon McDougall's shot just short. Pennycook taken out. Well, they've got about 45 seconds of this penalty. There's the oh, great stop. A good shot by Tony Hand and a very good stop by Andy Donald. He takes it up and then slaps it. Well caught. So they still have the pressure on. There's 44 seconds or so remaining, 43 to be precise. So, face off again. There's 6 minutes and 37 seconds of the period to play, and there's just 28 seconds. The penalty. Paul Pentland. Murrayfield in there, but only as far as the blue line. The pass for Stojanovic. Run by McDougall. Around. Still there for Murrayfield, but deflected again. Kellan with the shot. Again it's deflected. McDougall now. Fife have played off another penalty. And Andy Donald makes another good stop. So Donald really did well under the pressure there. But now it's Fife, back at full strength. Remember that Ron Plum here is the player coach. And he directs the operations with some assistance from Colin Blair. He's the man who's in charge of the team. Brian Peat trying to shoot it down the boards. It's still visible. There it is. Out in front. Well, Murrayfield are making some chances, but they're not taking them. And now it's Danny Brown, Andy Linton. Oof. Chance there for Stojanovic to pack one in. And still it's loose. Stojanovic couldn't get the shot away. Jim Lynch down the boards looking for Tony Hand. Kellan for Murrayfield. Carrying the puck well. Tried to come in from the near side, hoping that Donald would move across to the far side of the post, but he didn't. As he comes around the net, he sees that Donald is there, and Donald would think he would normally go round the back, but Donald outthought him, and the puck shot away. So the face-off then, just outside Fife Flyers zone. Murrayfield come back into the game somewhat in the last minute or so. Here's Neil Abel. Look away, it's in there. Kellan floating it through. The puck is loose, there it is! Jack Hay, the scorer. So, Murrayfield get one back, and that's pleased the fans. Jack Hay. Bit of a scramble in front of the net. Bounces through there. Knocked away. And there's Jack Hay. Moves away. There's Jack Hay to poke it in. And it's... again... the puck in front. Hay comes through. 3-1. Meanwhile, we have a face-off back alongside the Murrayfield goal. 3-1 the score. 4 minutes and 42 seconds on this first period. And Murrayfield, as I said, were coming back into the game. They emphasised that by scoring a goal. And they get another one before the period finishes. Murray Hansen held it well. Still the face-off there. Face-off going to be taken by the Fife Flyers captain, Gordon Latto, with Gordon McDougall. Back to the point. Fife still have possession. Oh, there was a chance. The puck was very loose in front, and then flicked away, picked up now by Stuart Drummond, playing on defence with Brian Peat, 21. Pass. Oh, here's a man loose in front. It's Pennycook. Pennycook's in front. And it's there. Gordon Leto. Looked to me as though it was Gordon Leto that picked up that loose puck. So let's have a look at that again. The puck very loose. Came through. And in fact it was Chick Cottrell who tucked it away. So it's 4-1 now for Fife Flyers.
Gotta work, Chick. Gotta work, boy.
Just over 4 minutes left on the period. Chick Cottrell, 30 years of age, comes from Kirkcaldy. Around the back. And that has set Murrayfield back a bit. They were coming back into the game, and obviously the temperature's rising a bit. Well, Paul Hand there lost his helmet during the scrimmage along the boards. There's no penalty on the situation, so it's another face-off for Fife. 3 minutes 55, and they're leading 4-1. Another chance, there it is! Stojanovic. Number 9, Stojanovic, the man who scores. That's a new championship record. When Stojanovic puts that son away, he has scored 28 points in the championship round. Stojanovic, the top scorer in Britain, and a new championship record for the championship round. 5-1 the score, and Fife in possession, looking for Brown. Tony Hand turning it back. That's the time player to play in this first period. Kellen turning it back. Lindsay Lovell to Tony Hand. Tony Hand with a slap shot. Oh, that was a good one. It was just outside the post, but there was no mistake by Andy Donald. He held on to that one. Very good catch. Here's Tony Hand's slap shot. It's moving, remember, 120 miles an hour. Good stop. This lad was born in Toronto, in fact, but has lived in Kirkcaldy for the last 10 years. So, we've got 3 minutes and 14 seconds on the period. Fife Flyers, 5, Murrayfield Racers 1. Gordon Leto coming in for the face-off. Cottrell there. And now Stuart Drummond turning it back. And here's far as Cottrell. Gordon Leto. Back again. Well, he's not going to hurry. He doesn't need to. Stuart Drummond. Around the boards and flipped away. Picked up by Chris Kellen. 2.5 minutes left on the period. Paul Heavey turning it back, looking for Gordon McDougall. And it's bounced out. Whoops-a-daisy. Well held. Alex Dampier caught that one and popped it back. The puck was shot out of the rink. Alex Dampier there in the red sweater caught it and popped it back in again. But there'll be a face-off from where the puck was shot. And that face-off is just outside the Murrayfield Racers zone. 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Pennycook losing it. Jack Hay going afterwards, but Ron Plum right around the boards. That's Paul Heavey. Heavey to McDougall. Dougal just too far ahead of Hay. McIntyre on the boards there now. Pennycock easing the pressure. Kelland deciding to carry the puck. And he really is. Hoping that someone was on the far side, but they weren't. And now, Danny Brown. It's there, must be. Easy, easy. Danny Brown left it. Andy Linton scored it. Well, 6 goals to 1. Here's Danny Brown. Great mover. Beautiful skater. No effort at all. Takes it through. He's taken out of the play, but in comes Andy Linton, and it's 6-1. Well, Fife are really flying. Well, Stojanovic turning it back. Just about a minute left to play in this period. So just a minute left to play now. Tony Hand. Well, that's way up into the crowd. And that is a souvenir for someone in ice hockey when the puck goes out of the rink and the person who gets it keeps it as a souvenir. Interesting that the last 3 shots on goal that Fife Flyers have all been goals. 6-1 it is. And 50 seconds. They're just clearing it. Neil Abel. That's icing. Down the other end. Just 38 seconds to play. Face off in the Murrayfield end. And to take the face off, Danny Brown, back to Stojanovic. And it didn't come through. Here's a chance for Tony Hand. Didn't collect the pass. Good pass. Stojanovic on the left, he's in. Stojanovic, will he beat the goalie? No. Murray Hansen was there first. 15 seconds to play on the period. Still in the Murrayfield end. Forehand. And he passed it out. Stojanovic to Brown. The shot, it's there! Danny Brown. That's his 3rd goal. John Hay, the Fife manager, is very pleased indeed, and Danny Brown gets a hat-trick with only 1 second left to play. Here's Brown. There's the shot. In the net, 7-1, and 1 second left to play. Remember, as soon as the clock stops, the light goes on, the clock stops, and it's as close as that. 1 second. Danny Brown. There it is, the end of the first period. And a sensational period for Fife Flyers, who lead by 7 goals to 1.